Get cool.
Get cool. Maybe someday we'll be able to make it through an episode without singing a Stray Kids song.
Today is not that day.
Today won't be that day.
And then I found another K-pop band that I...
Oh, no. No. We're not cheating on Stray Kids.
It's not cheating. It's diversifying.
You know how you feel bad that we never listen to Jamie Bauer anymore?
I know. Poor Jamie Bauer. I'm like obsessed with him for, I don't know, a year.
There's kittens in the drawers again.
I forgot to close the drawer. Come on, baby.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Hids.
Welcome to this podcast
Called Jess and Hids Make a Podcast.
Yay. Oh, man. We're so bad at this.
It's like we should come up with a good intro, and we never do, except like this one where we complain about our intro.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we've done that before, huh? It's okay.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. We're good at this.
I mean, we're having fun with it.
Yeah. So what's up?
There's a scavenger hunt.
Okay. At the time of recording this, it is April 4th. We launched our scavenger hunt, our virtual scavenger hunt, on the 1st of April. And this episode comes out on the 10th. So you're already a week behind if you haven't gotten your scavenger hunt yet.
And you probably want to get that scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you don't know what a virtual scavenger hunt is, when you go to our shop at patreon.com/jessandhids/shop, you could purchase access to the scavenger hunt. What we do is provide you with a list of items or things to do, or there's 100 things on this list, and you submit proof that you have done the things or found the things or whatever. We try to make it so you can do everything on the list from wherever you are. It is currently running. We have about 10 participants so far.
Yeah. Which is more than we had for our spring, nope.
No, I think we had like 15 for the last scavenger hunt.
My memory is not great.
Yeah. That was like 6 months ago. I don't know.
It was like I have slept at least once since then. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you sign up and you purchase the PDF, there are instructions to send us an email. And we have a Google Drive that we create a personalized folder for you. You can just upload everything to that folder. And and then we'll announce the winners in May.
Yeah. Another fun thing we have coming up that will get you bonus points for the scavenger hunt is the 5K that we're going to be putting on. Hosting? Yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
Me too.
It's a virtual 5K, which means you just do it on your own time in your own location. You can walk it, you can run it, you can however.
And you don't have to do it all at once. You can break up your mileage however you want, whatever works for you.
And you don't have to send us proof that you've done it. There's no deadline. You're going to register. We're going to send out a laser engraved or laser cut medal that we're having made. Those will ship out in May. Registration for that will open soon.
I'm aiming for the 15th, but I'm saying that in this moment, I have not designed the medal yet, and we have not talked to the person that will be making the medals yet. Well, we have talked to him. He knows that we're wanting to do it, but we
do have a rough concept of it. We just have to put it. We have to finalize it and put it into a form that he can use.
Yeah.
But it is gonna happen, and we're super excited.
Yeah. I'm aiming for the 15th to launch it. So you guys have 2 weeks to purchase it and run it. And run it whenever you want, but 2 weeks to get it before we close registration at the end of April.
Yep. I was like, yep, that's it. Okay, bye. No. So anyway, I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited.
What else is new?
Um,
Like personal stuff, not like business stuff.
Well, you leveled up today.
I leveled up today. It's my birthday.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I guess. It's my birthday. It was actually a really good day. I didn't do anything, but that was like the joy of it because I didn't have to work. And right now, while we're recording this, it's a little after 10 o'clock at night when usually we would be at the cafe making pies. So like I didn't have to work at the dry cleaner today and I'm not having to do pies tonight. And I got to sleep in this morning and I got to play D&D. So like all good things.
All good things.
Yeah.
I also got to sleep in today. I got to play D&D and I didn't have to work in either job as well. So yay for me.
So basically I'm not special.
I just got bonus birthday perks. I don't know.
I did get some presents too though.
Yeah, I didn't get any presents.
My sister and a couple nibblings dropped by and
I got to see the
gave me a
nibblings,
present.
So that was sweet.
And then my mom brought me cupcakes and macarons.
Oh, the orange macaron was very good.
Delicious.
Other than that, I don't have anything. Nothing. I mean, I was like, what have I done? I'm like, oh, I bought a dresser.
Yay.
Oh, wait, no, I paid off my Jeep.
You paid off your Jeep.
I paid off my Jeep. I'm so excited. I know it's ridiculous, but I am just super excited.
It's like we're starting this with War members. We're supposed to finish with War members.
Yeah. Well,
and I was the one asking tell me a personal thing that happened.
I'll come up with the War member by the end of this.
I'm forcing banter.
It's okay. I feel like there was something. Oh, do we? Okay, I have a War member.
Okay, save it.
Okay, I'm gonna save it. Yeah, I'm gonna save my War. I have a War member. It's ours, but I'm gonna save it for the end.
Okay, cool.
So tell me what you're talking about today. I'm just gonna dive right in. Let's just go. Let's go.
We have to roll.
Do you have anything else you want to say? I don't have anything else to say, so I just want to dive in, I guess. I don't know.
Let's start.
Oh, wait, I do have another thing. We
Okay.
have hot water again.
We have hot water again.
This has been a very happy adulting week. I don't know. It's just like all the adult things are making us very happy.
Yeah, there is a small little thundercloud in that our hot water heater. Our hot water heater is leaking. So there's that, but it's a very slow leak. And we just have towels on the bathroom floor until we can get someone in to look at it. So
I think it's just something needs tightened, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just I know just enough to be dangerous about DIY stuff.
I'm not going to mess with it. It was already I already had to turn the water on to fill up the heater and then turn the gas on to that. And I'm like, okay, that's the extent of what I'm willing to do.
We're good.
Because it was just turning a couple of levers.
Yeah.
And then lighting the pilot light and all that. But that's easy. The instructions are right there on the...
Yeah, it's just
it's right on the tin. Yeah. Anyway, so we do have hot water. Yay.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And a small leak, but yay, hot water.
I can handle it. Shout out to your parents for letting us shower there.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to take a shower at home today.
Yeah, we didn't have to pack a bag.
Yeah.
It was great. We can do the dishes without boiling water first.
Oh, it was really nice to do the dishes too. Oh man. Okay.
Anyway, let's
such an adult conversation.
I know. I hate it. I missed the days where my good news was I went frog hunting today and filled a whole bucket full of frogs.
Okay.
I used to live in the desert. Frog hunting was a thing that you did during monsoon season, and you let them go.
Okay. I caught frogs and toads and stuff. I just never put them in buckets. I would just catch them and then
because we just wanted to see how many we could get in a night, and then we would just go put them. We lived next to a golf course, and so we would always just go out to one of the water trap little ponds, and put them in there.
Cool.
So probably still not great for the frog because we just kind of relocated them, but
they're like, my children are over there,
my babies. I'll never see them again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What did you just hit?
I don't know. I think the cord hit my cup or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
As long as
There's
nothing's spilled.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm one up on you.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I'm going to try to get this in the trash can.
You made it.
Yay. Nothing but net. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do some
dice?
podcasting. I don't think people are here to hear us chatter. Maybe you are. I don't know.
I don't know. I never know.
I never know.
We can't
And
be
I'm like,
that interesting.
I'm also like, hey, we're really interesting, okay?
Okay.
But I'm also like enjoying, like I want to grow and I want this to be expansive, and I listen to other podcasts and they're like, we don't go on any place that talks about us and we don't look at our comments anymore because people are like mean and they do all these like, you don't do this. And I just like that right now we're like in that sweet spot where people are like, hey, your podcast is great.
Yeah. And if they don't like it, they don't listen. And we never know who stops listening.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So thank you. I do have kind of anxiety about like people being mean.
Yeah. Like I don't want people to like leave bad reviews and be like, well, they said something wrong and like just like
this information
stupid things like
wrong,
that.
Or, I don't like your voice and you say the word weird. Like,
yeah.
Okay, well, fine.
Okay.
Thanks,
I'm sorry
that we made your life miserable.
Yeah. Did I ruin your day? Did I really?
Oh no, we love our listeners.
No, it's
I
okay.
just want to say that, but
yeah, no, I absolutely love all of you. I
listening.
just have anxiety about one day that we're going to get a bad review and I'm going to spiral into a deep depression.
I mean, same. And it just popped in my head because I was listening to, and that's why we drink, because I'm like hyper focused binging that right now.
Yeah, we're going to go see them live in May. So
I know, I'm super excited.
That's next month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. Oh, dang. I'm so excited. But they were just talking about how like they don't go anywhere. Like there's a Reddit forum for their podcast and they don't go on it because people are just mean. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want people to be mean to us.
I know.
Okay.
We're still babies.
We're babies.
Be nice.
We're little baby podcasters.
Although that being said, if we actually do present misinformation as fact, we're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We're not professional researchers.
Yeah, I'm going by what's on, I don't know, typically the first page of Google.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned it before, like sometimes websites will be like, what, you have this and no other website has this that I've looked on it. I kind of find that a little sketch, but
yeah,
I try to find good sources and not just some random weird website or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there is a blogger, I have used blog posts, but I make sure they have their references cited and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of double check. But
yeah.
If we get something dreadfully wrong, I don't mind being told, hey, you got this way off wrong or whatever, and we'll make a correction. But, But yeah, like just do it nicely, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's just my anxiety.
Sorry.
Coming up to the...
We're not actually mad at anybody.
No, it's just anxiety.
Yeah. We love all of our listeners. We love all of you guys.
Yeah.
Please keep listening.
And tell your friends. Oh man, this is really bad.
We really need to roll the dice and get going.
Let's do this.
We're just going to
spiral. We're going to spiral right here on the air.
Yeah. We'll go back and forth between like, be nice to us and, oh, we love you. We're sorry.
Don't be mean.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay. Let's do this. All right, because I want to know.
Oh,
no, I'm going to go first.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, wait.
You missed the box.
I rolled a 17. Okay, I'm going first.
Yes.
Wow.
I never get to just sit back and
I've gone first a couple times recently.
A couple times total.
I'm actually kind of excited for this. In 1850s,
there was a Change.
No, that was like the 1600s. Also,
no, you went. Oh my gosh. I know you haven't listened to the full episode, our April Fool's episode yet, but First, you started talking about this old newspaper clipping you found. And then
pamphlet. That was the word I was looking for, by the way. It came to me last night, like at 2 a.m. I woke up and went, pamphlet. That's the word. That's the word.
Like after that, okay, you were saying it was like in the 15th century or something. And so I was like, okay, so before the printing press. But then I went and I Googled it, and I have to correct myself here because the printing press was invented in like 1405 or some crazy year like that. But it was only used to reprint. It was the Gutenberg.
The Bible?
Johannes Gutenberg. Yeah. It was only used to print like religious texts for distribution among religious leaders. So like it still wasn't available to the public until I think it was mid 1500s. Anyway,
and
I'm
now
sorry.
We know. We have learned. No, that's what this is for. Dude.
Yeah.
ADHD,
but like the whole time I was like, wait, you said newspaper. And then now you're saying it was way back. People are going to know that this is fake.
But it wasn't. It was like my brain knew this made up stuff would
printing
be
press
legit.
existed. And then I think I did look up when the first like circulations had been going around, like news circulations, and it was sometime in the mid 1500s.
Oh, that's good.
I think.
And I said newspaper clipping, and I meant pamphlet.
Yeah.
And I was trying to. I literally, since we recorded that episode last week, I have been struggling to find the word. And my brain was just like refusing to acknowledge that word existed.
Oh, man.
And then last night, like at 2 a.m., I just like, oh my gosh, pamphlet.
Pamphlet.
And then I went back to sleep and promptly forgot until this exact moment.
Anyway.
Also, I would like to say, I hope you guys enjoyed our last episode, our April Fool's episode.
If you're listening to these backwards, though, we just totally blew our secret.
Don't listen to them backwards.
Our joke. Yeah, I know. Don't do that. That's wrong.
That's so wrong.
Go start at the beginning. Start with Johannes Factotum.
Because that's
episode 1.
Oh, yeah. I
and
was
then
like, no, that's
our
James
second.
Revis. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
anyway.
Do start at the beginning. Or start with this episode if you're here joining us. We're not going to tell you to stop listening. Please continue.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you can listen.
But
listen
we're sorry
however
for
you
spoiling
want.
the
Again, we're
we should probably not record this late at night. I think we get a little slap happy.
No, I think this is
But I'm also having fun. Okay.
It's good. Do you remember though what were we talking about where I was just randomly like, these are the kind of videos we need in our TikTok. It's just us having random conversations.
I think we were talking about how much we really don't want to be on TikTok, but like we're there now.
No, we're talking about something super random.
Wow.
I don't know.
We were like, hi ADHD person, tell me that random thing you were talking about 3 days ago. You know which one.
Debating some sort of hypothetical situation or something. I don't know.
Man.
These are things that we do all the time.
Debating a hypothetical situation. That happens a lot. Like, what was it?
I don't remember, but like something, it was a good conversation and we were both like witty and I was just like, you know what?
We're never that witty. Like it must have been a moment.
And that it was during pies, and so that's why I said it. And I was just like, these are the kinds of things that we just need to record and put on TikTok. But then like,
okay, I do remember you saying that.
Yeah. Animals.
Should we get back into this?
Hang on. There's cats fighting in the living room.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, I have no idea what I've said so far. So.
I don't think you even got started.
I think I just keep saying in the 1850s, and that's as
yeah.
far as we get.
That's where I went off on my little printing press tangent. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
In the 1850s, tell me what happened in the 1850s.
A lot,
everything.
Actually.
Tell me everything.
Quite a bit. Everything.
Yeah.
In the 1850s, a Scottish immigrant met a Chicago attorney in a Masonic hall, and they formed the Northwestern Police Agency, later known as the Pinkerton Agency. You've heard of the Pinkertons, right?
I have. This is on our list?
No.
No?
I'm getting to what I'm talking about.
I'm just like, my brain is like, what's the topic?
So when you think about the Pinkertons, what do you think about? Man, we are on fire tonight. When you hear the Pinkertons, what do you think about? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what imagery comes to mind?
There's an actor that played a Pinkerton in a movie I saw once, and I don't.
Oh my gosh! It was a Western, right?
The actor. Oh crap! What's his name?
I don't know. There's quite a few.
You know him. He's actually a British actor.
Oh, okay, they only have 14 actors, so that does limit it.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up. I'm trying to remember what else he's been in, but like I'm drawing a blank. But yeah,
was it a Western?
It was a Western.
Yeah, because typically we think, oh, the Pinkertons, they're lawmen, they're private detectives, they do this sort of thing. But they're not actually they weren't great. I'm just gonna go there, but they have a place in history. I could go into a whole new topic on the Pinkertons, but what we're gonna focus on is
Pinkerton is an album by Weezer, also.
Cool.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Oh my gosh, this is a hot mess of a episode. It's okay. I need you to find that actor though, because my brain in the background is going. I'm gonna just need to know who you're talking about, just for my brain to stop chattering in the background. But
no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember what else he's been in.
It's okay.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so the Alan Pinkerton, this Scottish immigrant, and Edward Rucker formed the Northwestern Police Agency, which later became known as the Pinkerton Agency. I'm going to say Alan because I just can't stand saying Pinkerton 100 times.
Okay.
Alan
Pinkerton
used his skills in espionage to attract clients and began expanding the agency. But we're not going to spend too much time on him because in 1856, Alan was sitting in his office. He had put out some want ads looking for a job. What are those called?
Want ads.
Want ads? Is that what they're called? Okay. He had put out notices. For a job? Notices. No, looking for hiring.
Okay, yeah, want ad.
Help wanted.
It's a want
help
ad.
Wanted things, that sort of thing. And he looked up from his desk and he saw this young lady coming into the room. And he said, "Oh, no, I'm not looking for a secretary. I'm looking for someone to be detectives or law enforcement." And she said, "I know, I'm here, hire me." And he's like, "No, I'm not going to hire you because women don't do this."
Did you get a woman?
I got a woman. And I'm sliding this into our manhandled history.
Oh.
Because a couple articles I found about Pinkerton quote him as being the one who did this great thing. And I don't know, it might be a little bit of both. You look like you're about to say something.
I found the actor and I found the movie that it was in.
Okay.
He did play Pinkerton, American Outlaws.
Okay, and who's the actor?
It's Timothy Dalton.
Oh, I love Timothy Dalton.
I know, I knew you would recognize him, but I totally was blanking on the name.
That's like an old movie.
So here's how I figured out the actor. I knew he was in the movie Hot Fuzz, but I couldn't remember the name of the movie Hot Fuzz. So I was like, okay, who's the guy? So I Googled Simon Pegg and got onto his IMDb and found Hot Fuzz. And then I found Timothy Dalton. And
all the Timothy Dalton movies.
I know, right?
Hot Fuzz is what you remember him as.
This is how, when my brain is struggling, I have to work extra hard to piece things together, and it sucks. But if
you're a neurotypical person, welcome to a neurodivergent brain.
Yeah,
this is how it works. Yeah. It's very weird.
There are a lot more dots that we have to connect than you might think,
and they go in very many different directions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, anyway, yep. Timothy Dalton played Pinkerton in American Outlaws.
Actually played.
Yeah.
The man, Alan Pinkerton?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But he had the accent. So
well, he was a Scottish immigrant. So
okay.
He would have
had the Scottish accent. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Cool. Things I didn't know.
So a woman.
We are talking about Kate Warne.
Kate Warne.
Yes.
I think that name is familiar now.
Kate Warne is America's first female detective.
I'm very excited to learn about Kate.
We don't have a ton of information about her personally. When she walked into Alan Pinkerton's office, she was about 23 years old, and she had been recently widowed, and she needed a job. And she talked him into hiring her. She said, I can get places where your men can't get. I can make friends with people that your men can't make friends with. I can make friends with the wives, the cooks, the daughters, the nieces, all the people that, in the 1860s, you really, like, a guy couldn't go into the ladies' sitting room and chat with them.
Yeah.
He had to be in the billiards room with the men having brandy while the women talked about domestic things. Pinkerton slept on it and then hired her the next day. And she became the country's first female detective, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
One of the first things she did was she befriended the wife of a man who had stolen thousands of dollars from a railroad company.
Mm-hmm.
And they caught him. I think his last name was Maroney. They caught him. He had most of the money. Apparently, they'd spent quite a chunk. I think it was like 20 grand that he had embezzled, and they got back like 15 of it.
Oh.
So, but she
needs to spend money faster.
Right, I know, my dude. You had 20 grand long enough for somebody to find it on you? Come on.
Wow.
It'd be gone. Hand me 20 grand. It's gone like in 10 minutes. Like, boom, gone. That was 20 grand in 1850.
Yeah, that was a good chunk of money.
That would be a nice chunk of money right now. Pinkerton wrote about Kate that she was a brilliant conversationalist when so disposed and could be quite vivacious. She also understood that rarer quality in womankind, the art of being silent.
Ha ha ha. A rare quality.
Rare quality in women. To be silent. It's an even rarer quality in men. Can I just say that?
Right? Yeah. Just like mansplaining. Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about that? The biggest thing, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing we know, the biggest part of history that Kate Warne is a part of. In 1861.
So was this before or after the printing press was invented?
Well, after, because that was in 1405.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's probably wrong to you. 1405.
I don't know. You told me 1405.
I know, because that's the number that stuck in my head, but I don't have it right in front of me. So early 1400s.
Okay. Close enough.
Now I feel like I have to Google it, fact check myself.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh. 1440.
I mean, technically, I would count that in the early 1400s.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's not quite halfway through the 1400s, so it's still in the early part.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you those points. I forgot what I'm talking about. We're talking about Kate. Dear sweet Kate.
And again, I'm sorry. Handwritten news sheets first started circulating in Venice around 1566, but the first printed newspapers emerged in Germany in the early 17th century. Now I'm done.
Thank you for that trip down the history of printing.
I'm sorry, Kate. Oh my goodness. You're supposed to be an awesome woman of history, and I'm just distracted all over the place.
You're just like...
I'm squirreling all over this podcast, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, my brain is scattered everywhere. I had this whole let me go back to my notes, because I was like, this is what you're going to talk about, and then you're going to mention this, and then this, and it's all out the door at this point. I have bounced all over my notes, but it's fine.
Tell me about Kate.
We're going to focus on Kate.
Okay. What you said there was a notable thing from history that she was involved in, and I want to know about this.
Okay. Kate is responsible for Abraham Lincoln actually being alive to become president.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
How?
I'll tell you how. Because in 1861, he was doing what they called a whistle-stop tour of the country, kind of going around to different places as he was getting ready to... He was the president-elect at that point.
Okay, so this was...
So he's not quite the president yet.
Yeah.
But he's doing this tour, and they have discovered a plot to assassinate Lincoln.
Oh, no.
Before he ever became president.
Yeah.
The Pinkerton Agency was hired by Samuel Felton, who was president of the Philadelphia, Wilmington, and Baltimore Railroad. And he had got wind of secessionist activity and that there might be threats to damage the railroad in Maryland. And there actually was a plot to kind of shut down all the traffic into DC at the time before the inauguration and everything.
Yeah.
And part of that was that, if possible, as well as shutting this down, they were going to assassinate Lincoln before he could ever become president. So this is like leading up to like right before the Civil War. Like there's already, because the Civil War started in April of 1861. So this is like boom, right there.
Right before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is all like right there.
Yeah.
There's all this activity to eliminate Lincoln because obviously we know he was the Emancipation Proclamation. I'm not going to go into the whole history of everything, but they found this plot that he was going to be assassinated. So the railroad that he took, he had to come into a place and then switch trains before he could get to DC.
Okay.
There wasn't a direct route where he could just stay on the train. From between those two train stations, it was like a 2-block walk.
Oh.
And that was where the plot was to take him out in that section because it would be easier. There were buildings and there were just like a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah.
So Kate went undercover. She got in with a secessionist group. She went in as a wealthy Southern woman. And she had this thick Southern accent, and she got into this group, and she wore, this is something I learned, she wore what's called a cockade, which is this blue ribbon that you wore on your vest, and it would like identify you as, or on your vest, on your on your clothes somewhere, and it would identify you as being part of either for the North or the South.
Oh.
So she would wear this and just like walk around and just be this proud Southern woman, and she got in with these people, these social gatherings. So she was able to verify this plot because the women are talking about their husbands involved or, you know, we're going to do this thing. And so they got details about this assassination and about when and possibly where. So they kind of narrowed it down and they realized that this area was the place. So Pinkerton says, okay, here's what's going to happen. There's the configuration of the railway system. There had to be this transfer of trains in Baltimore. He's like, okay, we need to get Lincoln to the new train, but we can't let them know that Lincoln's getting on the new train. So Kate goes in and she gets 2 cars, the sleeping cars. I'm gonna back up just a little bit and give you a little bit of a timeline.
Okay.
Timeline jump. So the president-elect, Abraham Lincoln, he's traveling from Illinois and stopping at different states along the way, different stops on his way to DC. And he had to make this transfer in Baltimore that would leave him kind of exposed off the safety of the trains.
Yeah.
The plot was that between this train transfer station, there would be like a fight or kind of a little mini riot or whatever. And then that would pull the policemen away to that area, leaving Lincoln kind of unprotected.
Okay.
And then this other mob would kind of surround him and take him out. So after Kate gets this information, she goes to Pinkerton and he's like, okay, you're going to get on the train and you're going to go meet up in New York with Norman Judd. And you're going to give him this letter that says, here's what we've learned. So she did that. She met with Norman Judd and he set up a meeting with himself, Pinkerton, Warne, or Kate. I keep wanting to call her Warne, either Warren or Warner. And I'm like, I'm just going to call her Kate. And Lincoln on February 21st. Lincoln at first was like, no one's going to assassinate me. Why would they want to assassinate me? I'm a decent guy. Honest Abe. But then an independent source also confirmed this plot. It was the son of William Seward, who was the Secretary of State designate at that time. So then, now we've had 6 men confirm this plot that this woman found, so it must definitely be a plot.
Sure.
Sure. Lincoln's like, okay, so there's a plot. What can we do? Because I'm going to fulfill my duties. I'm going to not cancel any of my plans. I'm going to do these things. There's not going to be any changes. And they're like, okay, Mr. President, please. So,
Mr. Not Quite President.
Not quite president. So he was at dinner and nothing changed up until this point. And then while he was at dinner on February 22nd, his secretary came in and said, "Oh, Mr. President-elect, I need to talk with you a minute." And he kind of pulled him out at the dinner. And then he changed into a different suit and a soft cap, took off his top hat, his legendary top hat. It says he carried a shawl on one arm. And I think it was just like he had like a soft blanket kind of, because it was trying to play the role of an invalid.
Okay.
So they had him kind of like, looking a little not quite so Abe Lincoln-y, which is like, I'm like, he's a tall, very like
he has
notable face.
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering, like, they just put a hat on him, whatever. But anyway, they managed to get him out of dinner and out of the building, and Pinkerton interrupted the telegraph line. So like he had some hour, he's like, shut down the telegraphs. Don't let nothing's happened.
Huh.
Lincoln is still at this dinner. He's just stepped out of the room.
Yeah.
No changes. So then Kate joins them at the train station, and she's like, "Oh, my brother, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here and safe. And I know you're sick. Come into your sleeping car. Come in here. I'm gonna get you tucked in. We're gonna get you home. We're gonna get you so you can heal and get better and be healthy again." Snuck him into the train, and they went from Pennsylvania to DC on this train. Kate sat up all night. She did not sleep a wink, sitting outside Lincoln's sleeping berth, making sure that no one got inside.
Cool.
Then he made it to Baltimore, became president, and the rest of that is history. So the Pinkerton slogan was, "We never sleep."
Uh-huh.
And that didn't come into play until after this night of Kate staying up all night.
Oh.
So it's like it came later in the history of Pinkerton,
Uh-huh.
but not until after this. So there's thought that because she stayed up, that he's like, "Hey, we're going to make that our motto, our slogan," which I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I wish she could have been like, attached to Lincoln permanently.
Yeah.
She might have found out some other stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so that's like her big thing. But she also worked for the Union armies throughout the Civil War. And she was easily able to get into different Southern social gatherings. She had a very good Southern accent, even though she was from New York City. And she would get in and she would find out things, that the women were talking about, their husbands were generals or captains or whatever in the army. And they would get this information, and then they would just kind of talk about it because they thought they were with another socialite and just able to talk about this stuff. She would often pose as Pinkerton's wife while undercover. Like when he would go undercover, she would pose as his wife.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people thought she was his mistress as well. But there's no proof of it. But there is like a rumor that maybe there was a little bit more than just a close working relationship.
Yeah.
But nothing like concrete. So who knows?
Okay.
After the Civil War, she continued working until on different cases. One of her big cases was the murder of a bank teller named George Gordon. The murderer got away with $130,000, which, oh my gosh. Okay. $130,000 in 1865 is roughly equivalent to $3.1 million.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was able to get the evidence to convict Alexander Drysdale is the one that Pinkerton is like, he did it, but I can't prove it.
Huh.
So Kate made friends with his wife, got chatting around, and found out where Drysdale had hidden the money and busted him.
Yay, go Kate.
Yay. So Kate there was a few more bigger cases that she was on, and every one of them, it was definitely like she found the information that a man was not going to be able to get because of, she was able to go places where a man could not go.
Yeah.
So she actually became the head of a female department of the Pinkerton Agency.
So cool.
And yeah, which I was like, all right, because like he could see the worth of I mean, the Pinkertons men could just burst in guns a-blazing as they do, and like, tell me everything. But here, these women could just kind of like, let me go have tea and go have a little social dinner, and you can just learn information,
a little bit of gossip,
a little gossip. So it was good that she did not have that rare technique of being silent. Although sometimes you just let people talk.
Oh yeah,
that's
often the best way to.
It is the
find out information if you just stay silent.
Yeah. She unfortunately died at a young age. She was 35-ish.
Oh.
She died in 1868 and was actually buried in Alan Pinkerton's family plot.
Oh.
Which I found was, okay, so maybe they did have a little something. But apparently there were other Pinkerton agents that were buried in or near his plot. So he kind of had like, I think it was like people that he was close to or had a good working relationship.
Yeah.
There were mentions.
I see how the rumors got started, but I gotta say, I don't ship them.
I don't either. And like
it's okay for a man to acknowledge the hard work that a woman puts in without him, And
because on one of these articles, I went into the comment section by accident, and of course it was like, oh yeah, she how women get secrets out of men. She posed as a sex worker and and I'm like, nothing else ever says anything like there's sit down and be quiet.
Yeah.
Like women are smart and we can figure things out. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I got like really irate at this person.
Yeah, I would
just
get mad.
Sit down and be quiet. There's so much more. And, like immediately like, oh, they had a good working relationship. Wink, wink. I mean,
no,
maybe, but what little bit I've read about Kate and what little bit kind of like, there was a YouTube video I wanted to watch, but it was an hour and that's way too long.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I'm so sorry. I don't have that attention span. I'm going to link that in case it has some more information that I didn't cover.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I didn't take the focus time. I just couldn't do it. But, I'm like, if she did have this kind of relationship, well, you know what? She's a grown woman and he's a grown man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If they were attracted to each other or whatever.
Yeah.
She got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And she made a name for herself, even though like so much of it is lost to history. Partially, though, I will say there was the Chicago fire.
Oh, yeah.
Destroyed a lot of Pinkerton's old records.
Okay.
So there might have been more. He did speak very highly of her in a book that he wrote. And I'll link that note because I closed the tab that had the title of that book. Sorry. So he did he wrote in that she never disappointed him, never let him down, and was one of the top operatives his agency ever produced. Which that's high praise.
Yeah.
Especially in that time period when women were, stay home, maintain the house and don't go out and get a job or whatever. So that was, that was high praise.
Yeah.
Regardless of their working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, unfortunately she fell ill in 1867. She died of pneumonia.
Oh.
I found on Find a Grave, there is a little bio on her, and it does say that her name is misspelled on her tombstone, unfortunately. Oh. It's just Kate Warne, W-A-R-N. But her name is W-A-R-N-E.
Oh.
But she also, she did carry a lot of aliases.
Yeah.
K. Warren, K. Warren, Kate Warren, Kitty Warren. So she had like a lot of variations of her name that she would use.
Yeah.
But Kate Warne, W-A-R-N-E, is her official name. And I think she's pretty awesome. But I wish we had more about her.
Yeah.
Like the big thing was this uncovering this plot and then, being the one to sell this disguise of Lincoln's.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my brother, I'm so glad you're here. And, sweeping him into a carriage and just, going all mother hen over him.
Yeah.
And
that's so cool.
Because, like, it could easily be like, hey, that guy kind of looks like Lincoln. No, no,
it's my
that's
brother.
my brother. It's my brother Todd. Push him. He's very ill. I don't know whatever. I think was it Mary Todd
Mary
Lincoln?
Todd, yeah.
My brain, I was like, Todd, where did I come with that one? Thanks, brain. Pat, pat. So yeah, it's just a little bit of like every article I found was like talking about the woman who stopped the assassination attempt on Lincoln, before he was ever president.
Yeah.
I did see some pop culture notes. She actually hasn't been around, but there is a webcomic that came out in 2013. And then there is also in the TV series in 2014 series, The Pinkertons, there is a little bit of a fictionalized Kate Warne is played by Martha McIsaac. And then in the 2022 miniseries, History Channel miniseries, Abraham Lincoln, she is portrayed by Natalie Robbie. There was also another, I said there was a webcomic, but there was...
What is the webcomic? It doesn't matter.
It was entitled Kate Warne, Pinkerton Detective by Lauren R. Silberman.
Okay.
Silberman. Better Angels, a Kate Warne adventure that came out in 2021. It is a graphic novel. And I'm looking at some of the artwork and I'll link the website for this.
Yeah.
But it's got really cool artwork and it's kind of a little story about Kate, a graphic novel.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. There was also, I saw a couple places that Emily Blunt was supposed to play her in a movie.
Oh.
But I looked on Emily Blunt's IMDb and there's nothing about it. So I don't know. It was an Amazon Channel movie. So I don't know if it kind of got dropped because it was supposed to come out like it was slated for 2024, 25, but there's nothing on Emily Blunt's. So I don't know if Amazon just dropped it or maybe postponing it or whatever. But I think it would actually be cool. I like Emily Blunt. So I think it would be cool to see her play this really cool woman.
That would be awesome.
The first female detective.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit. It's not a long topic because we don't know a lot about Kate, but we do know that.
Well, I want to know more.
Well, I'm sorry.
She seems cool.
She seemed really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the only thing we know about her is these 12 years of her life from 1923, from when she was 23 to when she was 35.
Wow.
So before that, not much is known about her at all. So
wow.
That's a lot to do in 12 years.
Yeah.
You did like a lot of Civil War espionage and catching murderers and stopping an assassination plot. I mean, she's a busy woman.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome.
That is so cool.
But yeah, I'm much more interested. I wish I could learn more about Kate.
Me too.
She had an amazing 12 years. I mean, she had an amazing 35 years. She was, she was alive for 35 years.
Yeah.
But the 12 years we know about, she did some really great stuff.
Yeah.
And
I want to know about like her origin stories, like what made her decide to want to approach Pinkerton and say, let me be a detective.
Well, she was recently widowed.
Yeah.
And came from a not wealthy family.
Uh-huh.
So she needed a job.
That's not a usual type of job for someone to be like, oh, I want to go be a detective now.
True.
Like she must have had
already the motivation
skills
to really get there. Yeah. Well, yeah, she did say, she was like, I can get where you can't go. Yeah. So she had thought this out before she approached him. And and I think that's, she had her arguments ready for him because she knew, this is not a job that
he's going to turn me down.
Yeah, he's going to turn me down. So what do I need to know?
Yeah.
What can I do to sway him?
What are the major selling points? And I love that too, because that obviously she was very, very smart.
Obviously
in order
intelligent.
to have her argument ready to go and be 100% correct.
100% correct.
Yeah.
And then
you can't deny that.
Yeah. Like I am correct. And now I'm going to prove it to you by being one of your best agents ever. Yeah. And, so yay. Kudos to Kate.
Kudos to Kate. And I guess kudos to Pinkerton, but I don't want to give, I don't want to give credit to a man for the good job that a woman did, but
right. I mean, there were a couple parts where it was like, oh, the Pinkertons were so, his agency or there was a couple places where it said he was responsible for foiling this plan. And I'm like, excuse you?
Yeah, no, his, he is the head of the agency, sure. But let's give credit to Kate. And the work that she did.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So this is going to slide under our manhandled history
recurring
card there.
Yeah.
I really liked learning about Kate. Now, what would you
ready?
like to tell me
ready
about?
for mine?
Yeah,
Are you ready?
I am ready. What are you going to talk with me about?
Tell me all of your deepest, darkest fears. What scares you?
Ocean, clowns, water that I can't see through,
Uh-huh.
things touching my feet in water that I can't see through, having my head or face underwater, clowns, anxiety,
Uh-huh.
people telling me, do you want me to keep going? Because I have a list.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about phobias.
Oh, no.
I know. So this was suggested to us by our friend and listener, Nicole.
Hey, Nicole. We did a Nicole one
We
last
did.
week, right? Or
The
no, not last week.
Logomesia.
The Logomesia. Man.
I know.
She's coming
There's
up
like
with some good ones.
Almost back to back, since last week's episode was like fake anyway. So like,
Oh,
yeah. Words that make you cringe
Oh.
and phobias now. And it's funny because there's a link between the two.
Oh.
Like,
Well, I mean, okay.
and I think I said when I covered the episode on Logomesia, the very moist episode,
Ooh.
I believe I mentioned in there that it sort of triggers the same response as a phobia would, but on a much more milder scale. But yeah,
I do
thanks,
remember
Nicole.
that because we said something about sharks.
And
But, okay, phobia. Man, you're getting like all the psychological ones. I love it.
I do want to start off by saying that when I mentioned, and I don't think it was the Logomesia episode, I think it was our War Members episode that wasn't an actual episode.
Oh, right.
I said that there was no such thing as a fear of sharks because it's not an irrational fear.
It's not.
I don't know where I heard that, but that is
TikTok
not
told me.
true. The fear,
Sorry.
no, I don't. I'm not on TikTok, but
Yes, you are.
uh,
We just recently joined TikTok.
Jess and Hids have an official TikTok account now.
Yes.
We have not put anything out, and I think we're following like 2 people.
2 people. And I think we
Stray
have
Kids
one follower.
and one of our friends.
But if you want to follow us, we're going to try to do stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna try to be one
shoot.
of those content creators.
Oh my gosh. Can we make... okay.
We have so many. Just
We're so...
we're so annoyed with TikTok all the time, and that's why it's taken us so long to get an account. But like, I don't like TikTok. I don't like it. Anyway,
Anyway, if you want to follow us, we're at jess.hids on TikTok.
yay!
Okay, phobias. Tell me about the phobias.
Follow us, and we'll get annoyed every time we get a notification. No, I'm kidding.
I have my notifications turned off.
Fear of
Oh.
sharks.
Okay.
There is a phobia, fear of sharks. It's called galeophobia.
Galeophobia.
Yeah.
Why gale?
Galeophobia. I don't know. I don't know why it's called galeophobia, but that's what it is. And I apologize for giving misinformation.
Okay, I'm glad you did.
But
Because
there's a fear of sharks.
I mean, I don't think fear of sharks is irrational. So
I don't
it
think
makes
so
sense that
either.
yeah.
And
But I understand, having a
but not all sharks will kill you.
no.
In
I
fact,
know.
Death
Most
by
of them-
shark is very uncommon. So like,
you're
I
more
get
likely to die by death by cow.
it. Yeah. I've never seen a cow swimming in the ocean, so I don't know. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay, phobias. Okay.
a phobia.
Why to be scared?
No, you're not.
Okay.
I'm going into a lot of like the science of it.
Okay, I
Okay.
also remember another phobia I have, and
What?
that's very mild claustrophobia.
Oh, okay.
I don't like if I can't move my arms, like if I can't extend my arms a lot, I get
Ooh.
I can't, and I definitely don't like things over my face.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Okay.
I can be in small rooms. I just can't
Yeah.
be in really cramped areas.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I'll interrupt
Excuse
you
me.
as we go through with more phobias as they pop into
Okay.
my head. I'll be like, oh crap.
It's fine. I
Okay.
interrupted you when you were talking about Kate with totally non-related things.
I
So
know.
it's
Okay, I'll
fine.
try to. I can't promise, but I will try to stay on topic. So, all right, go.
I cannot make that promise tonight, apparently. So a phobia is an anxiety disorder defined by an irrational, unrealistic, persistent, and excessive fear of an object or situation.
Okay, so I don't think claustrophobia should be called a phobia because it's not irrational to be afraid of being trapped in a really tight, cramped place.
Well, but some people have no fear of that at all.
Well, they're just really cool people, I guess, with no anxiety in their life.
But there is no So it's an irrational, unrealistic fear. Like being in a tight space is not going to physically harm your person and it won't injure you.
It is if that tight space is a coffin and you're not dead. Or if you're in a cave a mile underground and you're calling, this is my experience.
But did you die?
No, because I had people with me and I could have.
But you didn't. And a lot of people don't. So it's not.
It's not. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just arguing semantics here. Okay.
So exposure to the source of the fear triggers an immediate anxiety response. And those affected tend to go to great lengths to avoid the situation, often putting themselves in more danger by avoiding it than the actual situation presented.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not that bad.
Yeah. So like if you didn't want to go into a tight space, so let's say you're trying to escape something, you're running from something and you come up on a very tight, narrow space, you would rather face the danger you're actively running from than going into that tight space to safety. That sort of scenario.
Okay.
So like, yeah, oftentimes people with these kind of phobias, with severe phobias like this, will put themselves in even more danger trying to avoid the situation that would trigger that phobia.
Okay. I'm understanding.
Yeah, and it brings out severe anxiety symptoms. I have some stats to start with from the National Institute of Mental Health. An estimated 12.5% of U.S. adults 18 or older experience specific phobia at some time in their lives. And we'll get into what a specific phobia is more. It's one of the three categories that phobias can be divided into.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The prevalence of specific phobia among adults was higher for females than for males within like a year of data. And I think the year was 2023.
Women are more than twice as likely as men to develop an anxiety disorder in their lifetime.
And I'm not sure the reason for that, but that's, yeah.
It's because the brain system that's involved in the fight or flight response is activated more readily in women and stays activated longer.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
So there you go.
That's why. Of adults with specific phobia, an estimated 21.9% had serious impairment, 30% had moderate impairment, and 48.1% had mild impairment. And so when these stats are talking about impairment, they're talking about like, do you avoid taking a promotion because you don't want to work on the top floor of a skyscraper because you're afraid of heights? Like that would be considered an impairment because you are actively, like your life could, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like you have this opportunity to improve your job or your position.
Yeah.
But because of this top floor of a skyscraper, which you're not going to fall out of.
Yeah. You won't take that.
You won't take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I'm not afraid of heights. I adore heights.
Yeah.
So that's not that does seem completely irrational to me. Yeah. Okay.
So 21.9% had serious impairment. And then among adolescents between the ages of 13 and
wow.
13 and 18, an estimated 19.3% had a specific phobia, and an estimated 0.6% had severe impairment.
Wait, so 19% from 13 to 18, but over 18 was only 12%? Is that what?
Yes. 12.5% had experienced specific phobia at some time in their lives.
Do you think we grow out of it?
Yeah. And there is like treatment that can be sought. And I guess I
keep interrupting you.
No,
and you're
fine.
going to explain you're going to answer my questions
no, that's
that I have, I think.
Like
so.
treatments is not something that I went into, but it is something that I read about. So it kind of depends on the phobia that gets developed. A lot of times with specific phobia, exposure therapy can be a thing, like in a safe environment, like VR, virtual reality therapy can help. Also, like actually talking to a therapist can help. And there are medications that can also help with phobias.
Wait, I'm just going to say, like, please don't be afraid to talk to a therapist. Reach out.
Oh, yeah.
Because mental health is so important. And definitely,
yes.
I mean, just even in this aspect of phobias, like I said, like I really hate clowns, but I mean, I don't know. I don't run into clowns on the street on a regular basis. I think I probably would freak out and run the other way because I don't like them, but.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen your reaction to just like an unexpected clown picture.
I know. I'm like, oh.
And I like
an unexpected clown in real life might send me over the edge. So maybe I should get therapy for that. Man. I don't know. I need therapy for other more important
when
things.
Everybody thought that clowns would just start randomly attacking people? What year was that in?
Oh my gosh, it was in the 90s.
Oh no, I was alive.
Okay, so 2000s. Okay, because I lived.
No,
so
it was recently.
It was when I was in North Carolina because there were a lot of attacks in Greenville, South Carolina, which is 40 minutes from where I lived. So it was a huge, like, people were saying, like, if you see a clown, go the other way.
Yeah.
And like, it was not great. People
even reached here, like, and I can't even think of if there were actual clown attacks in Arizona.
2016.
Okay. Yeah. So fairly recent. Almost 10 years ago, but Gosh.
Yeah, jeez. But like it was scary. I remember this. It started in South Carolina, which is crazy. And there were people who were actually bad people luring children away or attacking people, and then there were just people who were dressing up as clowns and
for fun,
pretending to do this. And I'm like,
scare people.
Don't. You're wasting resources.
Yeah.
That could go after these actually bad people.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid of clowns and I don't like them.
Yeah.
And if you sneak up on me as a clown, I probably will punch you or whatever. Whatever I have in my hand is going to meet your face. Okay. It's not good. Don't do that.
Oh man. Now I wish I would have looked up the fear of clowns. I might have it somewhere.
Oh,
the phobia for that.
Yes.
I can look it up later. I'm ending this with a
phobia
list.
Or something.
Okay.
I'll find it.
So phobias, like I said earlier, can be divided into 3 different categories. There's social phobias, known as social anxiety disorder.
I have that.
The phobia is marked by a fear of social situations in which a person might be judged or embarrassed.
Oh my gosh, I have that.
A lot of people say they have it, but again, fear triggering that fear response. You are uncomfortable in social situations. You do not have an anxiety disorder.
The mild side of it.
You are uncomfortable in social situations.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm like, when I told you before we started recording that I'm like, I just have like a little disclaimer to write before we can get started.
Oh, did you write that? Did you tell me?
Well, no, I haven't actually said it yet.
I'm sorry.
But that's part of it though. Like it's pretty common to learn of a weird random phobia and be like, oh, who would be afraid of, whatever. Or like saying, I have that real bad. But actually you don't. You're just uncomfortable.
I will apologize because I'm kind of joking about different things here. And like, I do understand that this is a serious condition or a disorder. And I'm making fun of myself. I'm not making fun of anyone that suffers from any of this anxiety disorder stuff.
Yeah.
It's 100%. I'm sorry. But I'm going to disclaimer myself.
I did want
apologize.
to mention that like, we try to keep it light on the podcast, but we do recognize that having a phobia is an actual anxiety disorder, and we never intend to make fun of the people that actually suffer from these disorders.
Oh my gosh. I just had this weird random memory because like I said, like I have a mild claustrophobia or I dislike clowns, but like they exist and I don't do anything super irrational except I will punch you.
I would say that's a mild phobia too, because I was saying like I've seen your reaction.
I'm not going to do anything like dangerous to myself.
Yeah.
Right. But I just remember we were, I can't remember where we were, but we were at a comic book shop and there was a car just like in the middle of the parking lot with all the doors wide open. And I'm like, we went inside and I'm like, is everything okay with that car out there? And there was a woman behind the cash register, like behind the counter, sitting in a chair, just shaking.
Oh man.
And we were like, are you okay? I thought like she'd been attacked or something, but there was a spider in her car.
Oh my goodness.
And she just whipped into the parking lot and ran inside and hid behind the counter.
Wow.
And the guy sent one of his assistants out to look for the spider.
Oh.
And like just that memory. So yeah, that is oh, I'm sorry. I swear I'm not making fun of anyone but myself. So I do apologize, and thank you for like, hey, disclaimer here. We are a lighthearted podcast, and we're learning this as we go.
We both of us are introverted, and so being in social situations does kind of stress us out a little bit. But like I wouldn't call it
I wouldn't say
a fear of social situation. I get uncomfortable in some social situations. Others I thrive in. So it's not. So anyway, social phobias. There's agoraphobia, which I always thought was only the fear of going outside, but it's not. It's a sort of more umbrella term that involves an irrational and extreme fear of being in places where escape is difficult. So it may involve a fear of crowded places or of leaving your own home because you don't know if you're going to end up in a situation that you can't get out of.
Oh my goodness.
So agoraphobia is it covers a lot of things.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like the crowded situation, I could be wrong, but I'm having agora is what was the Greek word for like an open market.
Oh yeah.
So I could see how that could be like a congested area. I'm just like, I don't know. It's just the word connection. I could see why it was kind of named that. Anyway, sorry. The fear of clowns is called coulrophobia. COULRO phobia.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. And then the third category of phobia is specific phobias. And when people talk about having a phobia of a specific object, such as snakes, spiders, or needles, they're referring to a specific phobia. And then specific phobias can also be divided down further into 4 categories, although one source said 5 categories, but the last category was just other. So 4 categories. Fears found in the natural environment, fears related to animals, fears related to medical treatments or issues, or fears related to specific situations.
Okay. Like going into this, I had no idea that it was going to be this in-depth.
Yeah, me either. I was like, okay, phobias. I'll just find a list and talk about
the different phobias. Yeah. But it's so phobias. Like they actually have like a breakdown of levels of phobia and then types and like breakdowns of this. Okay. We should do a psychology podcast that we could just talk about psychology.
We are not experts.
No, we are not experts, but like I just want to talk about what the experts say because it's fascinating to me.
That can be what the podcast is called. We are not experts.
We are not experts. Not by a long shot.
Please don't.
TM. I'm stealing that one. We are not experts.
Jess and Hids are not experts.
That's it. Yep.
All right. Second podcast in the works. You heard it here first.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really like going nuts with the interruptions. But all right, no, it is fascinating that there's all these breakdowns.
Well, we're mostly going to be focusing on specific phobias from here on out. And you can develop a fear of virtually any object. And the names of specific phobias are often formed as nonce words. And nonce words means words coined for a single occasion only. A nonce word.
A nonce word.
Okay. Nonce. There's a cat hair flying by my microphone.
I just saw it and the light caught it. And you kind of like backed up like, with your face. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, nonce words. That's fun.
Nonce words. I like that.
The names of the phobias themselves are often formed by taking a Greek prefix, like you were saying with agoraphobia, that represents the fear object and adding the phobia suffix.
Okay.
And because of this, an attempt to make a complete list of phobias would be impossible because anything can be a fear. Anyone can develop a fear of anything depending on their situations, their past trauma, their, whatever they associate with that thing can become a fear. So like literally anything can become a phobia. So there is no complete list of phobias.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. So causes, like I said, it could be caused by past traumatic experiences, brain chemistry, genetics, learned behavior. These things can all be a factor in the development of phobias. They can even be passed down from generation to generation. There are 3 different sort of pathways to the development of phobias, or most commonly broken down into 3 different things. But again, it could be anything. But there's classical conditioning, so like Pavlovian classical conditioning, which is exposure to the phobic stimulus. So for example, the fear of heights could possibly stem from, at some point in your past, you had a near fall that really scared you. Mm-hmm. And so now you associate that fear response feeling from being up high. Now you just, whenever you think about being up high, or whenever you're up high, you remember that fear response, and it just becomes a thing that happens over and over again. Yeah. Every time you are in a high place or thinking about being somewhere high, your body just remembers that fear response. So that's
our brains are fascinating, but man, they really hate us. Like,
I know.
They're just so mean to us.
They're out to get us.
Come on, cooperate with me here for a minute.
So that's classical conditioning. There's also vicarious acquisition, when you see others experience phobic stimulus or observational learning. So an example of that is like when a kid sees a parent reacting to like an animal with fear, that kid will learn that that animal should be feared and could develop a phobia of that animal.
Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad, yeah. But again, there are other factors. It's not just seeing someone scared of something. You know, there's like brain chemistry happening
because I've seen people like scared of things, and I'm like, I'm not going to be scared of that just because you are. But like, I could see it like from
I said,
as
these
a
are
child,
pathways that could lead to developing phobias.
And I can see it like especially happening with the child, because the person you look up to and your protector is afraid of that. So you definitely should be as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you see that in the animal world all the time too. Like gorillas develop a fear of snakes fairly early on, because everybody learns to be afraid and stay away from snakes. So, yeah. There's also informational or instructional acquisition. That's learning about a phobic stimulus from others. So, fearing an electrical wire after hearing that somebody touched it and it shocked them. And you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. And that could lead to a phobia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's seriously so fascinating, because like the first one where a thing happens to you, you know,
the classical condition.
That
and then
happens. That makes perfect sense to me.
And is constantly reinforced because you see reminders of that thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could totally, any of these.
Like they are just really like how you can see how your brain is affected by that. I mean, it's the same way we learn good things.
Yeah.
And then our brain is like, hey, this is a good thing. You know, look at everybody smiling while they eat chocolate. Chocolate must be good.
Chocolate must be delicious.
Chocolate's great. I love chocolate.
It is, yeah.
And then,
yeah.
It is great, by the way. Chocolate's amazing.
So yeah, while these things won't always lead to phobias, they're like I said, just pathways that could. They're also, in order to really be considered a phobia, there has to be symptoms of impairment and avoidance. And like I said, impairment is defined as sort of an inability to complete routine tasks.
Right.
I think that's fascinating how our brains, like it could be just like the smallest thing that we retain a memory of and having that fear response. And then over time, that leading to developing a phobia. Mm-hmm. So now is where I'm going to get to the list of phobias that I found. And like I said, it's not a complete list.
Oh, yeah.
But there were some interesting ones on here. And this list I found at verywellmind.com.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go through the whole list. I'm just going to kind of scroll and pick them out as they jump out at me.
Because the list is not complete.
No, it is not. Fear of bathing is ablutophobia.
Ablutions.
Yeah, ablutions. Okay. Let's see. Fear of riding in a car is amaxophobia.
Oh, that's interesting.
Fear of men, androphobia. There's fear of air, which is unfortunate.
Wait,
Fear of air is anemophobia.
wait. Is that like airflow? Or is that like, I'm afraid of the air that I have to breathe?
You know,
or
I don't know.
like air
it just
in my
says
face?
fear of air.
Oh, anemophobia?
Yeah. There's fear of anger, which is angrophobia or angrophobia. Fear of flowers is anthrophobia.
It is the fear of wind or drafts.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, if you're afraid of the air you're breathing, like, oh my gosh, your life must be terrible. And I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Fear
Wow.
of wind or drafts.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't move to Snowflake.
Don't move to Snowflake.
If you have this fear.
Don't even drive through here.
Unless you're looking for exposure therapy. Don't
We got
move
that.
here. Yeah.
We got that. So much exposure. I didn't know that was even a thing.
There's a phobia for everything.
That is just crazy. Okay.
Fear of disorder or untidiness. Again, don't come here to our house.
Please, God, don't come here.
Ataxophobia.
Ataxophobia. Okay.
Yeah. Fear of failure. Oh man. It's probably with the CH actually. Atychipphobia. Atychipphobia.
Wow, that's a word.
Or
that's a word.
Atychipphobia. I don't know.
Atychipphobia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in Greek, like the CH is a k sound.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah, if it is a Greek prefix, then yeah, it would be
Adicophobia.
a hard K sound.
Phobia.
Phobia. There's fear of gravity.
What?
Barophobia.
How? Wait.
Yeah.
That would be hard.
Yeah. Fear of books. Bibliophobia.
I'm so sad for you.
Fear of plants. Botanophobia. Fear of snow is kyonophobia.
Kyonophobia.
Fear of spending money is chromatophobia. And I wouldn't mind if I were to have a phobia.
Just a slight one.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like severe.
Yeah.
Where I don't spend any money and I just live like in a dirt box somewhere, a box in the dirt or something. Like I don't want to be that bad, but
Yeah.
if I could just fear spending a little bit,
Yeah.
that would
It would help my
budget.
debt. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Fear of clowns is on this list.
Just like you said it, and I was like, because I've been staring at coulrophobia,
Yeah.
and I had
Coulrophobia.
to close the tab that I had it because I was starting to get like a little anxiety, and I'm just like, what is my problem? And I kept looking down and seeing the fear of clowns, and I'm just like, okay, let's not look at the clowns anymore.
Fear of dogs is cynophobia. Fear of making decisions, decidophobia.
Decidophobia.
Some of these don't have like a Greek prefix.
Yeah,
some of them are
like,
very just say the word.
Yeah.
Decidophobia. Fear of dentists is dentophobia.
Everybody I know,
they don't like going to the dentist.
They don't like going to the dentist. They're like, I have this fear of the dentist. I have a fear. And like, I get it. It's your mouth and there's like, it's a very sensitive, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like it's an odd thing. I like going to the dentist.
Me too.
I mean, I love the cleanings, and like I've had 3 wisdom teeth extracted over the years. And I've just been like, it's not the extraction. It's not anything. It's the 3 days after where I'm in such severe pain. I hate that. I have
I've never had a bad experience with a dentist before. Yeah. So like, I'm fortunate.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's an interesting one that I would like to like talk to more people about. Like, did your fear start before you ever went, or was it like, was there something happened at the dentist to kind of make this an unpleasant thing, and it became like was it a learned one, or was it like a generational one?
Yeah.
Was
it like that Finding Nemo scene where there's a kid waiting in the lobby of the dentist's office and hearing
the screaming
child inside the dentist's office
and the drill going wild.
Yeah. Well, fishy in my hair.
Fishy in my hair.
So I can see how that kid would be like, "Nah, I'm
not going in here ever again." Yeah, that would probably do it for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is fear of teenagers.
That's an understandable one.
Ephebiphobia.
Ephebiphobia?
Hang on. EPHEBI phobia.
EPH.
Yeah. Ephebiphobia.
Ephebiphobia.
Oh, man. We are not experts. We sound like
idiots.
idiots. Fear of teenagers. They say that teenagers scare the living out of me. That's a good song. Okay. Fear of knees. KNEES.
Knees?
Knees. Genuphobia. Fear of knees.
Because genuflecting is when you kneel.
Yeah.
That is
Fear of knees. I don't know.
I'm like, I'm not making fun of anyone, because if you have these, I know that it is genuine.
Yes.
And I am not judging how you feel or react or anything, because that is your life. I am just
fascinated with how a phobia like that would develop.
Yeah, I
would like to know that.
I want to know how it presents. Do you walk stiff-legged? Are you afraid of your knees, or are you afraid of someone else's knees?
Like, are you afraid of seeing knees? So if they're covered by
shorts,
pants or whatever, then
that one's fascinating.
If you have genuphobia
and you would like to
us.
talk to us, if you don't want to talk about it, by all means don't.
Yeah. Gynophobia is the fear of women. There's a couple here back to back that are super long. One of them is fear of the number 666. Hexacosio, hexaconta, hexaphobia. Hexacosio, hexaconta, hexaphobia.
So hex is the 6, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So it has
hexagon.
Hex right there in the title.
Oh my gosh. And there's one that I can't think of it, but it's the fear of long words.
That's
and it's
the next one on the list.
Super long.
Yes. And that one, that word is actually a joke word that it was kind of made tongue in cheek, but is now, the fear of long words. It's hippopotamonstrous. Hang on. Hippopotamonstrous esquipedaliophobia. Okay. Hippopotamonstrous esquipedaliophobia. Fear of long words.
Why?
1, 2,
that
3,
just seems
4,
mean.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 letters in that word.
That's more letters than are in the alphabet.
Yep.
Also, that's really, really mean to do that. I have a disorder. It's a phobia. What is it?
I can't tell you.
I'm not going to tell you because it terrifies me. Oh, that's sad. I get the tongue-in-cheek thing, but also why?
Yeah.
It's mean.
Fear of buttons. Coumpounophobia. Koumpounphobia. Coumpounophobia.
Coumpounophobia.
Yeah.
Another one that I would, although I don't know, I could see how a fear of buttons could.
Buttons buttons on clothes, or buttons that you push?
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Oh. That changes my concept.
Yeah.
My thought process. Okay. Oh, what if it's a fear of buttons you push and you have to get an elevator?
You don't push buttons in the elevator.
I get on the elevator. I have gotten on the elevator by myself and waited for somebody else to push the button. It's not because I'm afraid. It's just because I forget sometimes how elevators work. And it's just, I don't know.
You have to push the button. It's not coumpounophobia. It's coumpouno avoidance.
It's
Coumpouno forgetfulness. I just forget that button pushing is a thing.
Tony Stark doesn't like to be handed things. I don't like to push the button in the elevator. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fear of being without your mobile phone is sort of another tongue-in-cheek word. Nomophobia. Nomophobia.
And that's definitely a new one.
It is a new one. Yeah, that's a recent addition to the list. Phobophobia.
Is that a fear of phobias?
Yes.
That one just kind of named itself, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, man. Porphyrophobia is fear of the color purple. I know.
Wow.
I almost pronounced this wrong, but I believe it's pronounced Samhain. Samhainophobia.
Is that the fear of Halloween?
Yes, it is. It's spelled like Sam Hain.
Yeah, it's Samhain.
Yeah, Samhainophobia.
Samhain.
Scoptophobia is fear of being stared at. I get that.
I get that.
I totally understand
totally
that.
understand that one.
Like, I don't like being stared at.
No.
Never have.
Never.
So,
I don't think anyone really likes being stared at.
No.
Although I will say, if you come across me and it looks like I'm staring at you, I promise I'm not seeing anything 3 feet beyond my field of vision. I've gone off in a daze somewhere.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry.
Sorry if I'm staring at you. It's unintentional.
Siderodromophobia is fear of trains. Somnophobia is the fear of sleep.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I don't fear sleep, but I sure do miss it.
Yeah.
I would like it to visit me more often.
Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia.
I might make you guess that one.
Can you spell it for me?
Thallasso phobia.
I got nothing. You're gonna be like, oh, it's this.
Fear of the ocean.
Oh,
Thalassophobia.
That is a legitimate phobia.
Well, I thought you would have guessed based on the prefix of that, thalassophobia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Talasia.
yeah,
That's a setting in one of our books. That's on our writing shelf that we need to work on.
Yeah. Venustrophobia is fear of beautiful women.
Huh.
Venus.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the star. And it's a planet.
It's
oh
a
my
planet.
gosh. Fear of beautiful women. Okay.
Yeah. Xanthophobia, Xantho phobia, is fear of the color yellow. I'll list one more. It's Zuigerphobia.
Zuiger.
Zuiger, Zuiger phobia.
Okay.
Fear of vacuum cleaners.
All cats except Zirin seem to have that.
Yeah. That's just a few phobias. Other ones that I'm realizing are not on this list that I came across in other sources were like fear of peanut butter getting stuck to the roof of your mouth. And I don't know what that is, but like that's a very, very specific fear.
That is a very specific fear, but I also can see why that would develop.
Yeah. Well,
That's why I like crunchy peanut butter, because there's texture to it, and I don't think it doesn't stick to the roof of my mouth.
Yeah. Arachibutyrophobia is the fear of peanut butter. Yeah, I wish I would have saved that, or at least made sure it was on this list that I have. So that's phobias.
I just want to talk about phobias for the rest of the night, because these are fascinating. No, thank you, because I just learned a lot from you. And
yeah, like I didn't know that phobias were really divided up into all those categories. I didn't realize that a social phobia would be considered separate from a specific phobia.
Yeah.
And that was only like skimming the surface of the actual psychology of it, because in the Wikipedia article that I'm going to link in the show notes and on our website, it actually goes into the actual neurological response and like how it affects your brain and like the actual, I guess, physiological part.
That's fascinating, because we've talked about, your brain is yes or no, black or white. Like there's no, like your brain doesn't get those nuances. Like your subconscious, I guess. Your subconscious does not. Your subconscious doesn't. And so you can actually like kind of trick your brain into thinking a certain way. And that's how you pass lie detector tests, by the way.
Yeah.
Just as long as you know it's the truth.
Yeah.
As long as you believe it's the truth, then you can tell someone that it's
mimic
the truth.
theory, anyone?
The mimic theory, right? Like,
mimic theory is true.
I'm convinced. I mean, I don't even.
You had this like a faint look in your eyes that was like, oh, really?
I was like, wait, it's not
It
true?
was either like oh, really? Or, oh, you actually believe that, don't you? Oh my God.
No, I was like, wait, mimic theory. Wait, oh, yeah. No, I'm 100. I'm here for it. 100. If someone came up to me tomorrow and was like, you're gonna take a lie detector test. Is mimic theory
Yeah.
true? I'm gonna be like, heck yes, dude, you might be a mimic. I'm gonna convince the guy giving me the lie detector that he's the mimic.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking of correcting ourselves, I do know that the definition of conspiracy theory is that some organization or unknown entity is hiding this information from people, which makes it a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But and I didn't really mention that in mimic theory because I made it up. So
I think I said my little
it might not be a conspiracy theory.
my
but,
tree tall was a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But
just among the people in the village.
The people in the village were trying to hide it because they wanted to keep it safe. So
who's to say that the mimics themselves don't know that they're mimics?
They might be hiding it from themselves.
The information I said they didn't know, but
that could be false.
But that's only
that
one
they've
theory.
planted in your head.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. That was just like, woo. Tonight is like, I feel like this episode should just be called The One with All the Tangents. I don't know. Like,
I'm sorry.
It's great. I'm like, it's fun, but it is like, I'm apologizing to our listeners because I feel like this one is really out there. Let's draw our card and then we'll do our warm embers. So,
okay.
All right.
Here are the I almost forgot that we have to draw.
Yeah, we have to do that. That's a thing.
Okay.
Okay. You go. I think you go.
I will go. And
you okay over there?
They're stuck together.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Let me dig around. Maybe I should just take one off the top. I don't know.
I know. Like we never do that.
All right. Oh, okay. I feel like I always have that fear reaction of drawing the card and then the okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
okay.
right.
I could do this. It's
I could do this.
Immediate. Oh crap! Can I do this? To okay, calm down.
You got this.
I got this.
It's looking up information and then presenting it in a somewhat comprehensive way.
And then we will continue to have the oh crap, can I do this thought all throughout our research
until we end the recording.
Until
of the
we
next
end
session.
the recording.
They're gonna be like, "Whoo, we did
it!" And then
it."
we're like, "Okay, that was okay."
Yeah, I mean, every time we get off here, we're like, "Okay, bye," and then we're like, "Whew, wow, I can't believe I did that." It's just like, wow, okay. Did you know this is episode 20?
Holy crap, this is episode 20.
That's
like
so crazy.
It's
a little milestone for us.
It is.
That's one of my warm members. Tell me yours, and then I'm going to tell you my other one.
Okay, first, though, if you're not following us on social media, you should be. We already gave you our TikTok handle, Jess.Hids.
Yep.
And we're also on Instagram at Jess and Hids Make Words. And you can find us on Facebook, same name, Jess and Hids Make Words. Follow us on TikTok. Encourage us
to get out there and do something.
Get over our hatred of TikTok.
Our dislike. Hate is a strong word.
Is there a phobia?
TikTokophobia.
TikTokophobia.
There is if you have it.
Oh my goodness.
That is
we
what
don't.
I learned from your
I just get annoyed.
Session, if you are truly afraid of something, it is a phobia.
One of the things that annoys me about TikTok, though, another tangent incoming, sorry, is that because I don't have TikTok, if people send me a link to a TikTok video, I can't open it unless I'm on my computer. And even then I have to go
jump through hoops,
match up some letters or whatever. And it always says I'm wrong, even though I'm not. I know what the letter A looks like. TikTok.
You didn't click directly on the A?
No.
You clicked right off the edge of it.
And so you have to do it
do it 3 times.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
But we have a TikTok now just so we can mostly look at the TikToks.
Yeah, just so we can open the TikToks that people send.
No, we are gonna try to do some.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We should go to hike the S and do a TikTok or something.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what we're going to do on it, but
anyway, so you can find all the links to all of our social media on our website at jessandhids.com.
Yes, please go to there. Also sign up for our newsletter. Patreon. Follow us on Patreon, even if it's just for free. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. You won't get any of the sweet content if you follow
we
us
do make
for free.
some public posts about some different things here and there, but the majority of the fun is to our patrons. But we do.
And join our scavenger hunt.
The scavenger hunt is so fun. We do have a Discord channel for our scavenger hunt participants. So that's something we just set up today.
Yeah.
It is just it's a place
free
to share your, while you're doing your hunts, drop in there and be like, oh, look at this cool picture I did.
I totally forgot that we did open up a bit of our Discord for free. I know we mentioned it several episodes ago that we were going to do it, but we finally did it today.
Finally did it.
So if you have Discord and you're not on any other forms of social media, join our server and come chat with us. We would love it if you did that. Love it, love it, love it.
Love it.
So, Warm Ember.
Warm Embers. Let me hear yours. I gave you one of mine, which was, I don't remember it now. That was like,
we talked about it at the
conversation
beginning.
ago.
But I got little Stray Kids keychains, and they're so adorable. And I have little Wolfchan hanging from my microphone, and I just adore.
I have little Generette. Mine.
Yeah.
It's little.
So apparently in the K-pop community, you have something that is called your bias, which is the K-pop idol that you like the most. And I gotta say mine is Bang-chan.
I think I definitely have a Hyunjin bias.
Yeah.
I adore Bang-chan.
Yeah. They're all just just cute little boys.
I mean, they're all in their 20s, so they're not little boys, but because
I have to think of them as little boys.
But they are like in their 20s, but they are like crazy talented.
They're so talented. Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know.
Their music makes me happy, and they're
crazy productive.
Yeah.
I
they're,
don't understand that.
Yeah. We get so productive whenever we listen to K-pop, and I don't understand. I don't get why.
Don't understand it.
But they make me happy.
Yeah.
So that's my Warm Ember. Thank you, Stray Kids.
Thank you, Stray Kids.
Thank you, Bang-chan.
Thanks, Steph, for introducing us to that. My Warm Ember has to do with the podcast.
Oh.
We're almost at 1,200 downloads. So thank you guys for listening to us. But today, I was looking at our stats today, and we have been downloaded in 10 countries, most of which is North America. So shout out to everybody. But today we got downloads in Rome, Italy, and Tokyo, Japan.
Yay!
And earlier this week we got Mexico City, Mexico.
Yay! Which was our first Mexico.
Yeah, our first Central America. So we were like, woohoo!
Yay!
So it's just really cool. Like,
we're growing
because I personally don't know anybody in Tokyo or Rome.
Yeah.
Or Mexico City for that matter. So that's like a really, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like someone in another country listened to our podcast. It makes me happy. And so that is going to be my Warm Ember. All of our listeners in our different places around the world now.
Yeah.
I just love it. So thank you guys for making me happy by listening to us. So
send us your Warm Embers. What makes you happy?
What makes you happy? What made you especially happy, or what brings you joy?
Yeah.
Because we love stuff like that. So
yeah.
But otherwise, I think that's it.
Yeah.
We can go call this one complete. And start our research for the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.